Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here. Welcome to another episode of Riff Starter, where I help you play your favorite songs and riffs from day one by removing all those annoying speed bumps and roadblocks that slow you down. All the strategies and techniques from the show are based on my best-selling book, Practice Less, Play More, which you can get at playsongsfaster.com. So today we're going to be talking about the song that has the most apostrophes ever in a musical arrangement. Talking Bout Love by Van Halen. This is probably my favorite Van Halen riff, next to Hot for Teacher. Such a great riff, and I want to walk through how you can play this riff and just some of the pitfalls that you might run into or you might fall into. And so let's get over to my screen. Let's jump right into it, and here we go. So check this out. So on the tab over here, basically what you typically get. You get, this looks like the riff. You hear it in your head, bum 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 bum. Like simple enough, right? But the problem with a lot of, actually I shouldn't say problem, but like the main, I guess, the trap that a lot of guitar players will fall into is that they'll try to play the song at face value right away. Okay, so you try to play exactly what you hear on the record, and you play it at the same speed. You play all the different moves, try to get everything going all at once. And what happens is it ends up slowing down your progress because you're just taking on way too much. It's overwhelming your brain. So instead, what we like to do here is, instead of trying to match your current level to the level of the record, we match the level of the record to your current skill level, and that's how you play from day one. Now, also just know that songs can be modified, especially at first. The first goal of playing a song, playing a riff, is making sure that is in musical time. And so we might have to modify a couple things over here, and let me just show you what I mean by that. So for example, instead of trying to play all of this, like we have certain details. This is all palm muted. We have these notes that are arpeggiated here that are palm muted, but then also there's a looks like a big leap over here from this note here, from this D to this G note. There's also a pinch harmonic in there. There's also the vibrato that you've got in there. We've got the hammer-on after that. So going through all of that, the song might sound normal. Like, it might sound good. It might, but also it might sound like this. You might be playing. And you try to get all the different moves, and then maybe you might get that going, like it takes a couple of days, and then you might get. It never quite gels. And like, what's cool, I mean, this song it's pretty steady, like da 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 da. Only at the end it breaks up a little bit, but as a sort of timekeeper, like the song, it's got this driving beat, bum 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 bum. So you got to keep that. And what happens is, when you're focusing on too many details, then that could easily derail. And so what I urge you to do is take the song and modify it to your skill level. I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can do that, because everybody's going to be at a different skill level, right? Like, everybody's going to have a different thing going on. You might be an intermediate player, and you might have to just change a couple things. Maybe you're a novice and you have to change quite a few things. But the main thing is making sure you understand how to simplify some of the other options that don't seem obvious. So one thing that I like to do is subtraction. So what we can do is we can definitely scrap the vibrato over here. Okay, we can definitely scrap the pinch harmonic for sure. We could even scrap this last note here. We can scrap this hammer-on at the end, just temporarily. All this stuff is temporary, just until you can play the musical version. Okay, but then also I think that this leap from this note here to this note, I think that we can also subtract that. So the riff would sound more like this. And then maybe we replace this note with like the third string. So instead of the low G, we get the open G. So we go, and then we go no vibrato here, and then here we just play the second fret. So it would go like this. And go. Okay, there I actually accidentally played the 5th string open instead of playing the 3rd fret or the open 3rd string, but who cares? Like, that's totally fine. I still made sure that I played it all in time, and that's the goal here. We want to make sure that we have a version that is musical, that's played to a steady pulse. Okay, now basically, so this part here, these parts here, the 1, 1, 2, and the 3, 3, and whatever we modify over here, that we want to make sure that I'm going to just put this, make the screen larger here. So we want to make sure that we're building that as we go, that we're not like holding it all down, or it's like, we don't want to like try to get all these different chord changes happening, because the way that the song works is very choppy, and it actually gives you an opportunity to play, to build as you go. 1, 1, 2, like this. So you can actually build it as you go. Okay, you don't have to have the whole chord down or do any like fast chord switch. You can actually just build the chord as you go. This A minor, you could get it going at the beginning. Okay, but so building that, not looking at the tab. Also, you don't want to do. Let me just go back to the tab for a sec. So you also don't want to play just with, like, let's say with one finger trying to build everything like on that A minor chord, this first chord here. You know, you want to. It's a little bit deceiving. Tabs are a bit deceiving. This is why also, you know, whether you have a coach or maybe you see a video of someone playing it, you can get some ideas on how to play it. But like this might indicate that you actually build everything from scratch, which that's like ridiculous. That's too choppy. And so it's about knowing that, okay, cool. So we've got this A minor, we hold this down, but then this part we could probably build this. We bar this here, and then we build that. We need that note later. We don't have to build it all at once. You know, this is why I wanted to give you this sort of walkthrough of just some ideas that you can use. So for example, let me go back here. So you can basically build this one as you go. And then this one you also bar with the ring finger here. So that part there, you're not building everything. You're just building, so you build that first chord, and then you're taking those little pieces at the end there. Okay, so it's not something that's obvious from looking at the tab, but this is something that, again, where you're looking at a video, whether you're watching like this, or whether you have a coach, or whether you are watching on YouTube, then these are the things that you're looking for. It's like, okay, well, how is this executed? How does this, or even look at Eddie, like, play it. You know, it's just, how is this executed? And not just taking that at face value, also looking at a variety of ways to do it, and also think, like, how can I create a similar sound for myself? Okay, so never take anything face value, because even what I'm showing you, like, you know, take it with a grain of salt, because everybody is unique. Like, your playing is unique, and what you need to do to get the song to sound right is unique. So anyway, moving on, what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you how also the palm mute. The palm mute is a little, I think that's actually a good thing that our hand is close to the guitar here, like rather than practicing like this, like that. It's actually a good thing that your hand is palm muting the string, because you can stay close. And what you can do is you can just practice the pattern, like over here. Check this out. This is string 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So in string numbers 5, 4, 2, 3. So you could actually just play only the right hand, whether you hold down an A minor to make it sound good, or whether you have open strings. And what you can do is you can actually play just the right hand part, the picking hand part. Look down at this hand. And then even the next part. Oops. Because that's going to be... You just practice this hand. So you basically play the whole riff, like... And it doesn't sound the same, but if you focus on just playing what the picking hand is doing, then that could also help you to remove any of the speed bumps or roadblocks, okay? So just having that palm mute, I think, is a good thing for you to stay close to the strings, okay? Now the last one is a little bit strange, this last tip. But what you can do is this part here, especially when you're doing all downstrokes, and palm muted as well. It's a little bit of a jump. So what you can do to get to develop that, like kind of bridge the gap, is you can use this sort of ladder. Like what you can do is the first note that you're going to play is the open G. So you play the third string. So basically you're going to be, the note is going to happen on the open third string before the, so then once you can do that and that's comfortable, then what you can do is you can go to the fourth string. So you can go, now again, it doesn't sound exactly like the record, but what you're doing is you're just gradually increasing the complexity to get to this sixth string. And then the next one you can use the open fifth string. And then last you can do the last step before the G is you can use the open E string. Why is that important? Well, because you have to get to this string anyway, but you're doing the work, but not work like of the right hand, but you're not doing the work of the fretting hand here. So here, you're not required to match it up with this here, and which will make it easier for your mind, easier to process, and you get to the result a lot faster. Okay, so what you do is you simplify it like with these steps, and I'm gradually as I'm playing it, and I use my fast practice formula. If you're not familiar with that, definitely check out the book check out the book Practice Let's Play More. You can get it at playsongsfaster.com. But it's like the fast practice formula will help you. You play 3 times in a row without making a mistake, and you can go through the whole step by step there. But it's like once you can get comfortable with this, here, then once you're comfortable with that one, then you move. It's like a video game. You move to the next level. So here, then next, and then. Okay, so but only once you're comfortable with each one. Okay, and you can incorporate that into that. And maybe if this one is the most comfortable, and you just want to play that, and you're happy playing that, then that's cool. That's totally cool. But only once you're comfortable with it, you move to the next step. And so the next step might be add that hammer-on back in at the end. Cool. Maybe you don't go up to here. Maybe you play that as the third string open, just to show you where that is. One more time. It's this note, replacing this note where this lives. It's either open string here, so open G string, open D string, maybe open A string, maybe the open E string. But you don't have to take this at face value. You could this is just a filler little moment here. Okay. So let me just show you one more time here. That once you're comfortable with that, then you can move to the next step, which is you can add in some of the other elements. Maybe then you add the vibrato back in. So it's like, maybe you add that back in, but only once you're comfortable. So that's really what I'm trying to get across here in this show is you don't have to take a song face value. You don't have to take a riff at face value, what you see on the tab or what you see in a video or what you see the actual performer, or the writer of the riff doing. You don't have to do that. Take it, like match it to your skill level. Simplify it so that it matches to your skill level. Then you get comfortable with it, and then you can upgrade and then upgrade and upgrade once you get comfortable. And then you can, if you want to, only if you want to, go to like upgrade it to the level of the record. That's cool. Or maybe you're happy halfway there and you're like, yeah, this is good. This scratches the itch. Let me move forward, play the next riff or play the rest of the song. But the key is making sure, like my mission is to make sure that you don't waste your time trying to play it exactly like the record and staying stuck playing 3 seconds of a song that you love rather than simplifying it. And it's temporary too, like, temporarily simplify it. Maybe for the first couple of days you're playing it, but you're playing more of the song now. And then you could upgrade based on that musical foundation. So, in the other episodes of the show, I talk about various different angles of this, but it's really the same thing. It's instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the record, match the level of the record to your current skill level, and that's how you play from day one. So that is enough of that explanation of the show. Is basically I've made my point that you want to subtract, you want to modify things, you want to use that palm mute to your advantage, isolate the right hand, or the picking hand I should say, and then also using that ladder technique to where you play that open string and then you play the 4th string and the 5th string and the 6th string. When you take approaches like this where you think outside of the box, you're gonna get faster results. It might seem like more steps, but you get faster results because everything is based on that musical foundation and you don't get stuck. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.